Hi, I'm Abrielle and this is Veronica, and we are going through video 3. So, Veronica, last week we met and you discussed with me just some anxiety that you were having about going to class, and because of this anxiety, you haven't been going to class. And so, let's just kind of dig a little bit deeper into that. And can you tell me just some reasons like why you get this anxiety?
I get really anxious about having to participate in class, and I know that this specific class requires a lot of participation and discussion, and so just thinking about having to participate makes me anxious. So I just decide not to go to class and stay home.
Okay. What are some ways that you guys have to participate in class?
Like we have to do group projects, and then we have to do discussion. Sometimes we pair up, and then we discuss what we came up with, like solutions, or we have to talk a lot, and I'm just afraid of saying the wrong thing.
Okay. And so when you say you have to talk a lot, do you have to talk a lot with just the person in your group or for the whole class or?
Like for the whole class. Like at first we talk, amongst just the group, and then we discuss, and so the professor just listens and everybody else is listening, so it just makes me anxious to know that I might say the wrong thing.
Okay. Now, how far along are you in your classes?
It's my first semester.
Oh, your first semester? Okay. So it can be a little like frightening at times.
Yeah.
I can understand that. When you've been in school before, like when you were in high school or whatever, did you ever have to talk out loud in your other classes?
Yeah, I did, but not as much as now, because it's college now, so there's more expectation there.
Right. Okay, so you feel like there's more expectation. Now, when you would talk, like, in your other classes in high school, how did you do with that?
I did okay. I mean, I was still anxious about it, but I just kind of avoided participating.
Okay. Now, when you ever had to give, like, presentations or, like, book reports or whatever that was, how did you do in those?
They were frightening, but I did fine. Like, I would prepare a lot
Okay.
so that I would do well. But I did get anxious. I did get really scared before presenting, and then after it was over, it was like a big relief.
Mm-hmm.
But I did it, so I did fine.
Yeah. Okay, now when you said that you would do fine, were there ever any like really embarrassing moments that you tripped up on, or maybe you said something that you shouldn't have, or did you ever encounter some like really frightening moment when you like presented in front of the class?
No.
No? Okay. Well, then that's good. Then, I mean, it seems like you've had like a good thread so far of doing well in presentations. So then, what would make you think that you wouldn't do well now?
Well, now everybody's smart. I mean, high school, it's like all kinds of people are there. But college, only the smartest people get to college, and I'm there, but I'm not as smart as everybody else.
Okay. All right. So you think you're not as smart as everyone else, but let's think about this. You did make it into school, right? Like you passed the application process and you did all that, and so not everyone got chosen to go to your school, right? So I mean, you are smart enough to be there. So I think you thinking that you're not smart enough. I think you should just forget about that because you are smart enough because you
I
did get
can't
to.
forget about that. That's what I think.
Yeah.
How can I forget about it?
Well, okay. Let's think about these situations now. When you talk in class, have you been able to speak in class like that in the class you're in right now?
Yeah, I've had to.
Okay, and how'd those go?
Well, they went okay, but I didn't go back to class.
Okay.
The next time.
But if they went so well, then how come you didn't want to go back?
I was expecting that next time I participated, it might not go as well as the other time.
Okay. So I've heard this word a couple of times. You said earlier expectations, and then you just said expecting. So what are some things that are you expecting to do bad, or what are you expecting?
I think I'm just expecting to mess up at some point and say something really dumb, and I'm expecting other people to think that I'm stupid.
Okay. All right. Well, I think a lot of things, but I don't think you're dumb, and I don't think your classmates would ever think that you're dumb. But have you ever thought that maybe speaking up gives you a chance to learn a little bit more? I know for me, I don't really like to speak out loud either. that always kind of frightened me as well, because I had the same thoughts as you, like, what if I say the wrong thing? When I have said the wrong thing before as well. But I never wanted that to prevent me, because I always felt that when I did speak out loud and the teacher or the professor was communicating back to me, I was actually more involved in the classroom. You know, I was more involved in what they were ever lecturing on because I was interacting with it. Have you ever thought about that maybe that's a better chance for you to just be more involved in class and maybe learn more?
No, not really, but it makes sense.
Yeah, because in that way, I mean, and for me, if I'm just sitting there and just like listening and not really, you know, maybe zoning out, but the more I participate, the more I get excited about what I'm learning. Because it's always great, you know, when the professor's like, that's exactly what I was looking for, and you got it right. You're like, okay, then I am understanding the text, which then would just prove to yourself again with these expectations that you're not dumb. You know what I mean? And I think another thing is that, you know, like everyone's in there learning. You know, we don't know the answers, because if you knew everything, you wouldn't be in school, right? And so, like you said, this is your first semester, and so you are still learning so much. I mean, this is new to you. That this is your chance to learn, you know, in a comfortable setting. Now, do you feel comfortable around your classmates, or?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay. Have they ever made you feel dumb before, or said anything?
No, they haven't done anything like that.
Okay.
They're usually nice.
Well, that's good. How do they usually respond, like when they speak up?
They encourage others. They don't ever really look at anybody weird or make comments or say, you know, talk behind people's back.
Okay. So do you think maybe that would help you? Like, do you think that they would talk about you behind your back, or do you think that they would encourage you?
I mean, I used to think they would, but I mean, thinking about it, they don't really do it to other people, so they probably wouldn't do it with me.
Okay. And when you see other people speaking out loud in class, what do you think about them?
I think I'm jealous that they're speaking up and I'm not.
Yeah.
But I don't think anything bad of them. I think I'm just I think I admire people for doing that.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, and that's totally a positive thought. And so the reason why I ask you that is I think that sometimes we kind of maybe overanalyze, or we worry too much about what other people think, but I don't think anyone in your class is out to get you or to make you look bad. And so I think if anything, like, you know, you guys are all in the same boat. You guys are all learning the same thing. You're taking these classes together. And so if anything, you're like a team, or you guys are working together. So I think if anything, they're there to support you and encourage you. You know what I mean? And even if you did say something that wasn't, you know, exactly on point, I don't think that they would, you know, make fun of you, just because they know that, hey, she's learning this just as much as we are, you know. And one thing that just came to my mind is like you guys want what's best for each other. You know, you want to succeed, and like they want to see you succeed, and you want to see them succeed. So if anything, it's more of like a support group versus like this competition. You know what I mean? Or like this chance to like point out the things that are, you know, maybe wrong about someone else. But I believe it's a chance where you guys can really help build each other up as you learn together. You know what I mean?
Right.
But how does your professor feel when you guys participate?
Well, I mean, they're good. They're supportive. This one professor is very tough. He's not tough. He's just, you know, he's very smart, and he asks us a lot of questions. He's never really mean to us, but he expects a lot from us. But he's good. I mean, he's told me that I make good grades, and I've been doing well with my exams and my quizzes. It's just the participation and showing
Right.
up for class.
Have you ever talked to him about this?
Yeah, he talked to me about it because
Okay.
I wasn't coming to class.
Right, okay. And so, but he is aware of how you're feeling about this. But I'm sure, do you ever feel like he's out to get you, or he's against you, or do you feel like he's more of a support for you?
No, I think he's supporting me.
Okay.
I mean, he asked me to come here. So.
Yeah. So I feel like, I mean, this is just an outside perspective, but I feel like you've got a good support group within your class. And so, I mean, it's a great chance to learn and to even make mistakes, because you know that those people are alongside of you to help you. And so I think that would be something that I would use as like a confidence booster to help me speak up more. It's just to kind of realize, you know, that I'm not in this boat alone. Like there's a whole group of us working together on this journey, you know. But is there anything in particular that you have kind of like in our discussion so far? Is there anything that you've kind of pulled from this that you're like, hey, like this is something I can apply or I can use when I go back to class?
Well, definitely that it is helping my learning experience to participate and be engaged rather than just watch and be quiet. So that's a new perspective because I do want to learn. I do want to make it into law school eventually. So
Right.
That definitely encourages me to go to class and to participate and not be afraid.
Awesome. Do you feel like you would be able to go to class maybe this coming week?
Yeah, I could try.
Okay.
I could really try to go to class.
Okay, yeah.
I want to.
I want you to too. Yeah, I mean, if you're paying tuition, it's probably a good idea that you go to class. But yeah, so I think one thing I would just encourage you is just to remind yourself, even if this is just like one thought that you can keep in mind, it's just that this is a learning experience, you know, and like you're learning things that are new, you know, and so this is a whole new world for you, but something that you enjoy doing. So don't let something that you enjoy doing become such a fear, you know. So I think this week, like I think a great goal for you is to just keep in mind that this is a learning experience, you know, and this is helping you learn when you participate in class. So do you think that helps?
Yeah, it helps.
Okay, awesome. Well, let's make that your goal for this week is just remember that this is to go to class and that it's a learning experience, and then we will pick up next week. Okay?
Okay.